Hey guys, it's Champ. Today I want to talk to you about something that is weighing heavily on my mind. I just saw something that really disturbed me and got my mind thinking and really put me in like a vibe for about 2 days that I was not able to escape. But let me just start off by saying, who here has seen Surviving R.Kelly? Okay, I just watched it and that's what put me in my mood. And today I'm not here to, we know who's at fault and we know who did the wrongdoing, but I'm not here to make them get their karma, to make them get what they deserve. All I'm here to focus on is what can we do to move forward? How did we let this happen in the first place? And what changes and what do we need to do from here on out? All I can focus on is the future. I don't have time to be harboring negative feelings towards anybody who did me wrong or anybody wrong anywhere. I just want to move forward and make sure it can't happen again. I'm all about don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. So today we're going to find a solution. Oh, and if you noticed, I have these little spots right here and here. It's because my hair is wet, natural hair problems. It doesn't dry ever. So that's what it is, in case you're wondering. It's hard to place the blame in one area, but I think there are so many people that are at fault. Being the enablers, people who worked for R.Kelly, people who were around him and saw this behavior and said nothing, and thought it was weird and said nothing. People who, the parents sometimes were at fault. Even teachers were at fault. I think society as a whole, I'm not going to blame it on one race or another because I don't want to make this a race thing at all. Y'all know where I stand on race, and I am in the middle. I think we all have our problems. But I think this is more of a problem as society because, first of all, we swept so many things under the rug. There were so many times that this was brought to our attention. And I was literally just asking my friend, I'm like, yo, did we just find all this out? Because how was this brought to our attention so many times, yet nobody said or did anything to stop it? One time we went to court and got off. It's just crazy to me. And there was even at one point a time where and I don't want to make this too much about the people who did wrong because I want to focus on the other thing, but I do need to say this. Even the father of a little girl who was in the sex tape who got peed on, he played guitar for R.Kelly for his next 2 albums. Had that been my dad, first of all, there is no way R.Kelly would have made it to his next 2 albums if my dad was around him that much after that happened to me. It would never, ever go down like that. Also, it even made me question some of the people who were being interviewed. There's a point where one of the gentlemen said, he walked through and he saw different, young girls who he knew were too young sitting on the couch in different rooms with the lights off, yet you didn't do anything until now. I think you're brave. I commend you for coming on the tape, saying your piece and finally getting it out, but you could have done it earlier. The parents for putting their children around this, your daughter's hanging with R. Kelly at McDonald's after school, but why is she at McDonald's after school? Why is she not at home? You know what I mean? Or why are you not with her? Why do you not know who she's with? And when you do know who she's with, why are you not doing something about it? It just boggles my mind the way that so many people let this go. Even myself. I even heard about his trial and was I remember asking him, I'm like, man, didn't R. Kelly pee on a girl? You know what I mean? And I remember her telling me the story of it. And then I don't really remember much after that about it. So even me, how did I let that go? In my own mind. That's such a weird thing, but I guess men of power, people of power, but especially men of power, we tend to be more forgiving in our daily life, our relationships, and even on big situations like this. It just makes me want to question what we're letting people get away with. So those are the people that I really think are at fault. The enablers, the parents, society, the people in R. Kelly's life when he was younger. Everybody's at fault. I think the music industry itself played a huge role in letting this happen, because we're having all these claims against someone that we're working with, yet we're just looking at, oh, how much money is he generating? We'll look over it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're saying these horrible things, but look how much money he's making. Money maybe really is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? We are allowing things that should never happen to any race, any gender, any age, ever, to happen because of a status, because of money. Like, how do you sleep at night? How does anybody sleep at night? Like, a lot of people fail, you know what I mean? It's crazy because we think of how it even happened and we're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? In school, we practice for tests, we study. At school and at home, homework. We practice for sports. We practice, some of us even go to cotillion and practice our manners. Like, there are so many things that we practice. But how often do we really practice, and what is the self-defense for sexual assault? And what is the self-defense for a predator? Well, the first thing is being able to spot one. It starts at home. Parents, siblings, everyone. This can't be a conversation, because it's an awkward conversation, but it can't be a conversation that you just have once. We need to make it more of a normal thing. How to spot a predator. What to do if your friend's in the situation of a predator. If you're in the situation of a predator. If you see somebody in a situation of a predator. Because, one day we might be the victim, one day we might be just a passerby. And you need to know in each role what to do. I think the reason that this really hit home for me is because I think back to when I was a young girl and I grew up doing theater and performing, and there's even one girl on the show whose parents let her go on tour with him with a guardian. Well, that's what happens to a lot of kids. I knew so many friends who were on tour growing up and doing different stuff, and they had guardians. And I even had conversations with my mom when I auditioned for different stuff on Broadway and auditioned for different national tours. My mom had more than one kid, and she, you know what I'm saying? I would have to have had a guardian, and it's just like, who are we trusting our kids with? It's often somebody that you know, somebody around you, because that's how they get you to trust them. But we gotta see the signs in the beginning. Trust your intuition. If you think something's not right, if you have a hunch something's not right, you're probably right. Because we don't just feel that type of way for no reason. As a generation, I think that we need to be more open and less judgmental. If somebody comes forward saying something happened to them, don't just cast them out. Don't be against them. We need to be a lot less judgmental, and we need to think a lot more to ourselves and our own souls. Like, what are we allowing? What is okay? I'm judging this girl for coming out and saying this happened to her, but what does that really say about me? What am I okay to allow? The person who does it is just as bad as the person who sits back and lets it happen. As an entire generation, I think we need to be, for the future, because we are the future, we need to be more open and helpful to those who come out, and also less judgmental. If you see something happening, speak out and call it out and say something about it. Do it the right way. You don't always have to I think you're messing with her, you know what I'm saying? But you could definitely be tell an adult, tell an authority figure something I think something's up right there. I think something's wrong, or talk to them. Are you okay? Spread awareness. That's what I'm doing. That's the reason of this whole video, is I just want to get you guys thinking, to get people talking. As dark as this is, share this with your daughters. Share this with your sons too. Mothers, some conversations to have with your daughters. Literally practice. My birth mom used to do this with me before she died. She used to literally be walk up to me when I was really little and be like, Danielle, pretend like I'm a guy, and I'd be like, okay. And then she'd be and hit me. And then I would run out of the room. That was the practice. If a guy hits you, you run, don't ever come back, type of a thing. Same thing, you know what I mean? You literally need to practice, literally, teach your daughters the signs. If a man is rubbing on your leg, a grown man, that's not a good thing. He's not rubbing it to massage it. Tell them the obvious. Over and over. Practice it over and over. That's so important. Same thing with our boys, but especially mothers. Let your daughters know. Tell them, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to do anything with your body for a man to get anywhere else in life, any higher. Make sure that they know that they've got what it takes, and they have the self-respect for themselves. Let them know how special they are. Let them know how capable they are. Get it thinking in their mind so that they can see it. We cannot just sweep this under the rug any longer. We need to spread awareness. If we don't know about it, we can't be ready for it. Just like school, we need to be practicing for this too. As an artist, I want to communicate a couple things to the girls in this industry. Just that you are strong, you have what it takes, and you don't need a man and or anybody at a higher authority than you to make your own dreams happen. Yeah, they can help, but hard work, dedication, talent, all of that stuff will get you what you deserve and get you where you need to be. You don't have to take a shortcut and sacrifice your soul, your body, anything to make your dreams come true. And for the men in this industry, please have some respect about yourself. Use your power, not for evil. Don't use that as leverage, because it's just so sad. It's like if you really can't get it on your own, or you can't get what you want on your own, you have to dupe somebody into doing something, or guilt or force, or just make somebody feel like they can't do it without you. Like, that's just sad, and that's something that you have to deal with as an individual. I'm not saying all men are like that. To the men who aren't like that, who don't, judge off of gender or race or any of that, and who really are just there to, perfect their craft and make their music or their acting or just whatever it is, their business. This is for everything, really. But me as an artist, I've experienced a lot of people, I'm a pretty girl. People, if you give me this, I'll give you that. But it's not about that. And at the end of the day, you have to think about how you can sleep with yourself. Whether you're the one demanding that stuff, gentlemen, and females too sometimes, gentlemen, or if you're a woman who's being offered that kind of stuff, what's worth your soul, what's worth your pride, what's worth your dignity, and knowing that you can do it without that, okay? Because this has been swept under the rug for too long and not on my watch. So my question to you, my viewers, please comment your answers below. What do you guys think we should do for the future to make this a better world, a better, environment in the music industry, in, the acting industry, film, all of that stuff? And how can we be there more for people who are going through this? How can we spot it? What can we do to make a difference? I want to hear your guys' ideas. So let's get that discussion started. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's all Watch Danielle. And I'll see you next time.